and saw beyond their present pain to the promise of perfection. When we put on our mountain-moving glasses, we are able to see, not only with our physical eyes, but with our spiritual eyes as well. Our mountain-moving glasses allow us to see and attest to the unseen works of the Spirit. For it is through our spiritual eyes that we are able to see Jesus, God's redemptive work that is ongoing. Even today, we are able to see beyond our present condition and trust that the one who came in the flesh to dwell with us, to guide us, and love us is still at work for us and through us. Our mountain-moving glasses should not be confused with rose-colored glasses that proclaim that everything is coming up roses, even in the midst of continuing death in this pandemic or continued ways of how we worship together. Or that proclaim that everything about church that we did pre-pandemic is and should just go back to the way it was and somehow have a different result. They are not glasses that call us to not see. We see the devastation to our social and economic lives. We witness the suffering of those who have lost loved ones and friends. We hear from those who miss community. Paul tells us that even in the midst of adversity, even in the face of disappointment, and even when our efforts seem to go unappreciated, we are to endure until the end. He says in verse 2 that Jesus' perseverance and faith led to a cross on the mountain of Calvary, where death for one led to new life for all. Now that's good news for us, right? Because it declares that when we persevere, we realize that the obstacles that seem like mountains may actually be opportunities. Opportunities to grow in faith, opportunities to grow in influence, and opportunity to grow in numbers. Right now, we face the mountain of coronavirus, the mountain of racism, the mountain of sexism, the mountain of poverty, of greed, of hopelessness. Because our mountains are so great in size and have endured over time, we cannot afford to shrink back in fear now. We must lean forward and lean into our faith and put our mountain-moving glasses in the garden of our world. We must keep planting love, keep planting peace, keep planting hope, and keep cultivating our faith gardens, because though moving mountains isn't easy, and tending our spiritual gardens may sometimes seem brutal and may sometimes seem futile, because of our perseverance, those who are hungry for food are being fed through our food collections for the Footprints Food Pantry. Because of our perseverance, those who are disappointed and dejected are being supported and sustained through calls and letters and outreach work. Because of our perseverance, those who are lost in a cycle of unbelief are being led into the marvelous light of our Savior through our online worship services and outreach. We are moving mountains, and because we have fixed our mountain-moving eyes on Jesus, our pioneer and perfecter of our faith, we can see that those things that look bleak right now, God can use for good. We serve a God who has emboldened and empowered us to move mountains. A God who is the great gardener, who never tires of pruning, watering, and caring for his creation. A God who has promised to toil with us and through us until we become the bumper crop that God envisioned at creation. Just as the church managed to survive and even thrive during the most trying times, if we put on our mountain moving glasses, we too will come out on the other side of this pandemic stronger, healthier, and better equipped to move the next mountain that comes our way. It's going to take hard work, right? It's going to take learning new ways of being and new ways of operating. It's going to take teamwork and cooperation and remembering that our church is our people, not our building. It's going to take